Welcome back. Chances are you or someone you know has been touched by cancer. The Dolphins Cancer Challenge is set for February 20th, and here's the event's CEO, Michael Mandich, on why it's an event you need to go to. Michael, good to see you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, David. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. It's such a huge event. It's such an important event. It's one of the biggest events in South Florida. The Dolphins Cancer Challenge used to be called the Dolphins Cycling Challenge, right? The DCC?
Yes, for 5 years,
Yeah.
believe it or not. And I think we evolved the name. Well, one, it makes sense when 100% of the dollars we raise go to fund cancer research projects here in South Florida at Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center. But I think more importantly, we started to expand beyond just cycling. It's still at our core, but we have a 5K, we have a concert, and other activities associated with really money around raised for cancer research.
Well, as a guy who's participating this year for the first time, thank you for adding a 5K. I appreciate that because the cycling component of it is seriously intense. It's how much?
Well, we have routes that start at 13 miles and go up to about 100 miles.
Yeah, and that's the one you're doing.
Yes, and people are like, I don't drive that in a week.
Right.
Why would you ride a bike, to do that? And I said, well, you'd be surprised how many actually that's a normal activity for them. But nonetheless, I think we have 6 cycling routes in particular that range up the ladder. And then that 5K, which is extremely popular nowadays, will take place right there at Sun Life Stadium. And I think regardless of which route or run you do, we're all in the same mission of raising money that will impact this community. You and I know both firsthand how cancer's inflicted our lives.
Right.
Me particularly with my dad. And that's what I think just changed my mentality around, well, what's important in my life and what can I do to prevent this happening for future events.
Yeah, I would imagine most of our viewers or many of our viewers know about this event, and I know we've just sort of started talking about it, but maybe let's take a step back for people who don't know the DCC, its history. Kind of tell us the enormity of this event.
So the genesis started in early 2010, and my dad was unfortunately diagnosed
Jim
with
Mandich, Dolphins legend. Yep.
Was diagnosed with cancer, but at the same time, leadership within the Dolphins, I think, was looking and searching for something that made sense. So they decided to partner up with the University of Miami and Sylvester to create this bike ride. I mean, it's gone on to raise over $11.5 million in 5 years. I don't think anyone envisioned it would be at this point this soon, but nonetheless, the buy-in by this community has been tremendous.
And it's the biggest one in all of the NFL because other NFL cities have events like this, right?
I mean, yes, there's kind of piecemeal between events. Nothing that's particularly a bike ride, but they might partner with some local community stuff, but nothing to this scale that I've even come close to finding. And it's special. I think, the organization is so proud of what the DCC has accomplished so far, but I think we still see a horizon that is far greater than where we're at today. And I no doubt am very enthusiastic about its future.
Yeah, it's there's such a great buzz about it. This is my first year really having an active role in it, and everyone I talk to about it is overwhelmingly. I mean, there's just such a great energy about this event. So first of all, you guys should be proud. The work that you've done in this community is incredible. What would you tell someone who is thinking about potentially participating? Because as you and I both know, everybody has been affected by cancer, right? I mean, if it's not you, it's someone you know. Right?
Well, first thing I say would be like, well, sign up. Go to
DolphinsCancerChallenge.com.
It starts with a choice. We all have choices in life, and you say, yeah, I can do this. I can find a way to raise $10, $50, here and there. And the beauty of that is 100% of every dollar they raise goes to fund cancer research projects. Not many charities can boast that kind of pass through. We have such enormous support from the corporate community, but also from stakeholders in South Florida to make that happen.
Yeah, and let's talk about the actual event specifics, the when, the where. There's a concert, there's a great concert. Tell us a little bit more specific about the event.
So on Friday, February 19th, we'll host our kickoff event. It'll take place at Sun Life Stadium. We'll have a nice compound there. We'll have a 30-minute live broadcast that evening. I mean, we'll have the likes of Dan Marino, current players, Ryan Tannehill and others that will join us for a pretty cool celebration. But then kicking off that next morning will be the 6 routes between 13 and 100 miles, the 5K. And that afternoon, we're introducing our first concert, which will be hosted by Grammy Award winners Melissa Etheridge and Sheryl Crow, which we're very excited about as an addition that I think in the future will be a big source of revenue for ultimately the DCC.
Yeah. Tell me about the spirit of community when you go to these things. You unfortunately with your father, as our viewers know, I've had melanoma. Everyone who's at this event will have had some sort of connection to cancer. When you go and you talk to people, what is that community, that camaraderie like?
Oh, the energy is infectious.
Yeah.
I really get pretty excited about it. I kind of think of it as our game day. Coming from such a deep sports background, I get excited, a little anxious, a little nervous, because in the end, it's sort of like our Super Bowl. We host that. I mean, yes, we do have a series of other events, but I mean, this is the Big Daddy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I think just it's so palpable that I get a smile to my face.
Of
every
course,
time.
yeah. I mean, I see you talking about it right now.
Yeah.
And you've added, you just sort of touched on this. You've added some other events too. This is the Super Bowl, the Granddaddy, but there's some other events that are new as well, right?
So we just introduced this past November our DCC Fall Family Fest, because we believe that one, it starts with building a culture, and two, that kids can be cancer fighters too. So we had a couple hundred kids participate in the rides, and that's from 3 to 14 years old. It was really cool seeing them in their little trikes and everything, bounce houses, face painting, that sort of thing. And then we will also have some of those elements shaped into DCC weekend, February 20th.
And lastly, are you ready for 100 miles on a bike?
Yeah.
Stretching already?
Yeah, I will make it. Come hell or high water, I'm going to find a way to get to that finish line. I may not be first, but that's irrelevant,
right,
because we really build this as a ride and not a race. There's no winners, there's no losers, so I don't want to find it where it's intimidating to people. We really hone in on the safety of events. We have tremendous police support along the routes and SAG support that help, whether somebody gets a flat or has to be transported to the nearest water stop for mechanical reasons, you name it. I think we've thought of just about everything, but there's always something that we can improve on.
Well, what about the chafing? Are you prepared for that?
There's this thing called chamois butter, and you need to have bike shorts. Chamois butter is a lifesaver,
All right.
I promise you.
Well, good luck with that. All right, as we say goodbye, give us the website and the info one more time.
It's dolphinscancerchallenge.com, dolphinscancerchallenge.com. Join us February 19th and 20th.
All right, Michael, great to see you, and I'll see you at the event.
Absolutely.
You got it,
Thank you,
buddy.
David.
You got it, man.
Appreciate it.
All right.